Hello, beautiful. Hello. I only came by real quick and I want to speak to you all about Prophet Lovy and this triad of prophets real quick. Now, I'm going to need you to do two things: get you a piece of paper, get you a pen, and get you a highlighter. And above all, you're going to need a really, really, really good memory. Okay. Early in my first channel, I started my entire channel walking you all through the construct, existence, function, identification of the invisible church, its formulation, its existence, its history, its impact on the modern lake church. And I explained to you all different components. And one of those components, it was um, African spirituality veiled through the services, and none were suspecting, right? But that's what they were actually doing to conceal their true worship of deities and things of that nature and conceal it from their slaveholders. So we've been through that, so we're not going to go through it again, right? So this whole thing comes out about Prophet Lovey, and I don't understand why it's shocking to people, but I'm gonna let that ride. Okay, listen, he's not the only one, and one has already been caught, and he was allowed to go on unscathed. That's how it went. But I want to talk to you about something, and people are curious: why did this particular prophet decide to come out and expose his friend, someone he's been co-laboring with? Why would he expose him? Well, let me give you the short version. First of all, in those practices, sometimes the sacrifice gets to the point that you're uncomfortable. But that sacrifice, it is necessary for you to excel and go beyond a certain point. So it continuously evolves, and the sacrifice, it is continual. It gets darker and darker and darker and darker and darker and darker in order for you to go higher and higher and higher and higher. And what they're going higher for, it is for two things. Number one, it is for control of people, and number two, for money. But primarily, and the foundation of what they're doing, they have to be able to control people in order to get the money out of people, in order to get the visibility, in order to get the notoriety, in order to get the trust of people. Right. And being that the requested, in my opinion, requested sacrifice was so great and dark, that boy said, "No, let me go ahead and repent for my sins, because I ain't going down with this ship right here. This is entirely too far." You have to understand that within Nigeria, Ghana, even Jamaica, there was years ago, it was years ago, there was a documentary about this mountain in Jamaica, and everyone knew not to go up that mountain. But there was a gentleman who did a documentary. He went up that mountain, and the mountain was just 100% where they were doing sacrifices, including child sacrifices. And you could see the skulls and all of that of children and animals and different things, where these things would take place. And they were discussing how you had celebrities and all these different people would go to that mountain to have the success that they wanted. And during the time of that documentary, just by happenstance, Rick Ross had a song come out that pretty much, no, it was another boy. It was either Rick Ross or another boy came out with a song talking about how he got a Bugatti, but people didn't listen to the song. He was walking them through a ritual. He was, the whole song was one big ritual to tell you how to get excessive wealth. Okay. And he didn't hide it. Okay. But anyway, And within some practices, yeah, it will include children. It can include a loved one. It could include yourself. It could include, a number of things. And like I said, some of those requests get to the point it's like, no, and whatever it was scared that boy enough that he knew you better get on good foot and get your behind back to the only sacrifice that will save your soul, and that is Jesus Christ. Okay. Well, let me wrap it up real quick. Well, in the modern invisible church, we know who their leaders are. The way you'll find out who the leaders are of the invisible church at this time, pay attention to who Lovy goes to. Lovy, excuse me. Pay attention to who he goes to and does interviews with within the next week. That's when you're gonna know who are actually official members officially practicing within the next 5 days. Pay attention to who he speak to, who he does interviews with. He's going to speak with the higher ranking ones who were in with him on it in the whole time, walking all of them through it, and telling them about getting wealth, prosperity, and all of that. And they get a cut for every time they work. They get a cut. They ain't doing it for free. It ain't for charity. People talk about tithes, and let me tell you something. You go to them people, you're gonna have to pull out some money. They're not doing it for free. But that's my 2 cents. I think the sacrifice became too great, and he ran. He ran. Please cover this young man in prayer. Please pray for all who have been listening and following these ministries. Um, Cover them in prayers. May the scales be removed from their eyes, may their ears open and hear the truth. And may they be set free, because once you start listening, once you start giving your allegiance and your support, you are officially bound. Please be praying for all involved. And above all, as usual, you know what I want to know? What do you think about it? Y'all have a good one. Bye.